He salutes the crowd, and now he waits for the man he hopes to beat, the IBF world champion from the Philippines, Rolando Bohol. Well, there have been some great Filipino fighters over the years. It's a country that's produced a good few world champions. And here's the latest in the line, Rolando Bohol. Robed and hooded in white, the champion. So we have the men in the ring, and now the national anthem. National anthem. As you heard earlier, Britain have a long tradition in World Flyweight Champions, going all the way back to Jimmy Wilde in 1916. The last man to hold the World Flyweight Championship from this country was Charlie Magri, and Charlie is with me at the ringside. We'll get an opinion from him after the announcement.
And Terry Lawless present a flyweight contest of 12 3-minute rounds at 8 stones for the IBF Flyweight Championship of the World. Presenting and introducing in this corner, ladies and gentlemen, from the Philippines, the flyweight champion of the world, Rolando Bohol. And from Croydon, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, the flyweight champion of Europe, Duke McKenzie. At the weigh-in, both boxers scaled 8 stones exactly. And the officials for this contest, ladies and gentlemen, appointed by the IBF, the judges are Lou Talbot from the USA, Walter Cavalieri from Italy, Roland Dakin from England, the referee from New Zealand, Mr. Bruce McTavish, and the IBF supervisor, Mrs. Hiawatha Knight.
Well, as I said, Charlie Magri, who held this title, or a version of it, not so long ago. How do you look at this, Charlie? How's it going to go?
Well, I think this guy looks a very, very, very strong fella, and I think Duke's got to really box him for the first 4 rounds. He's got to just keep on his left hand and just confuse him a bit, because he looks very tough, doesn't he?
Well, I think most Filipinos are. You know that.
I know that, yeah.
So here we go. Duke McKenzie on the left, much the taller of these two men. The European champion. He's 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he'll have a 3-inch height advantage here, and reach advantage, consequently, over the champion, Rolando Bohol. We have a New Zealand referee who, strangely enough, lives in Manila, which is where Bohol comes from. But to offset that, there's a British judge among the 3 sitting ringside to do the scoring. So the Filipino champion in the white trunks, boxing southpaw at the moment, but he might go the other way around as well. He can switch. 28 fights, Bohol. He's 124, but only 3 inside the distance. And 2 defeats. The last man to beat him was another South Korean. He meets a lot of them, Chun Hu. And that was in South Korea in July '86. Last time he was beaten, and the only other time he's ever boxed outside his own country. Well, as Charlie was saying, McKenzie starting this cautiously enough, as he must do, and test out what Bohol has to offer. What we do know of his previous fights, we know that Bohol can come through 15 rounds. He'll only have to go 12 here if he goes all the way, but he can come through 15 rounds with a cut, come very strongly at the start, and then cruise through to the finish to win a points title. That's how he won the title, with a cut on his right eye. So we believe him to be a strong, tough and aggressive man over the opening few rounds. Well, McKenzie has waited a long time for this chance, but at last it's come. McKenzie from that famous boxing family, which includes Clinton McKenzie, who is somewhere here tonight, surely, the former British and European light welterweight champion. And if McKenzie can make good use of this long reach advantage, then he's got great chances here of bringing a version of the world flyweight title back to Britain. Dangerous looking little attack there at the end of that first round. Charlie, you know everything about Duke McKenzie because he was the last man you boxed.
That's right.
Tell us what he's like to meet.
I think he's a very good fighter under pressure. I really honestly underestimated him when I boxed him. I thought myself, like, he's going to be another one of these British fighters I can just knock over, but he surprised me highly. You know, he's really very good under pressure, and he's a good fighter off the ropes, but this guy here tonight looks very, very sharp, and he's a bit awkward being a southpaw.
But he's got the same problem as you had with McKenzie. I mean, McKenzie's so tall for the weight, isn't he, and long reach.
But he seems to be getting through occasionally with that left hand, and I'm you know, like, it's going to be a 12-round fight, so it's just a matter of time. I think McKenzie got to stick to his boxing a bit more.
You're obviously very worried about this guy, Bohol, aren't you?
I am. You know, he looks a lot better than what I expected him to be, and when he's shaped up there, and he's a very cagey customer.
Bohol comes out for round 2 against the challenger Duke McKenzie, the champion of Europe, former British champion. Wearing IBF gloves tonight, with the thumb attached to the side of the glove, so they can't use the thumb independently. of the rest of the glove. Safety measure. Bohol never was an amateur. Came straight into the game as a pro in 1984. Bohol is the 14th Filipino boxer to win a world title. McKenzie still using his big ring. It's a good advantage. Using his physical advantages. Try to keep Bohol away from him in these early stages.
Hold it.
Bruce McTavish from New Zealand, the referee.
Okay, break, step back.
Bohol sticking to the southpaw stance, although he can turn.
That's your head.
McKenzie taking this very coolly. Just the looking left hand to the top of Duke's head. Champion, Charlie, puts him under a lot of pressure very quickly, suddenly, doesn't he? Suddenly he comes forward and he looks fierce.
Well, I think, you know, like, the pressure he's putting Duke under, I think it's frightening to sort of, I'm feeling a little bit frightened for himself, but I think what he's got to do, he's got to feint more with that jab, be a bit more positive with it when he catches him, you know what I mean? That Bohol, he's a very dangerous customer. I think he's a good, worthy champion.
Do you think either of them is having a bit of trouble with the weight? They both weighed exactly 8 stone at the weigh-in, and Duke, I've always thought, must be having trouble at 5'7", keeping down to 8 stone all these years.
Well, I think that day before weighing in must have done him a right favour, really, because he looks a lot stronger now for it, and the Filipino in the same...
How many pounds do you think Duke might have put on since yesterday?
I think he could have put on a good £5.
Really? So he could be 8'5" now.
That's right.
The other guy a bit lighter. Bohol, the champion in the white shorts. Aggressive little man. But for the large part being kept at bay by that long left lead. That's a good looking right from McKenzie. If he can get that employed a few times, that could be a very significant punch. He picked him up well with that. McKenzie showing signs here. He wants to step the pace up a bit. McKenzie's had experience in American rings in the early part of his pro career. His manager, Mickey Duff, took him out there and gave him, I think, 5 fights in the States. And he won them all in the inside the distance. Good experience. Another good right. McKenzie settling down, gaining in confidence, as long as he doesn't leave himself too exposed.
Okay, break, step back.
In the previous 2 rounds, the champion has come very strongly at the end of the round. And again, he's doing it. He seems to know when they're in the last minute of the round. McKenzie getting the better of these exchanges. That was another right low from the champion. That was a good round for McKenzie. He loosened up a bit there, and once or twice he threw very dangerous looking right hands.
Well, I think he's got to do a lot more of that, Harry. You know, he's going round to that opposite side, to the left of his southpaw right. And I think like he's got to throw that right hand a bit more often.
Well, we're a quarter of the way through, but he started well. You said he had to come out and box. He's done that, hasn't he? He's kept the man at bay for most of the time. That right's coming up again here, Charlie. Look, we'll just have a look at this McKenzie right here. Picked him up well with this. Nice punch.
Very good punch that was, Harry. I think he's got to do a bit more of that now. The pace is going to step up, and I think that Bohol is going to come out a bit more harder this round. McKenzie's got to really keep his guards up.
Okay, well, let's hope he does. There's the face of the champion. And there's a glimpse of Lloyd Hannigan, Britain's world.
Good